My name is Paul Tevis, and I'm going to teach you how to play Race to Adventure. In Race to Adventure, you play the Centurions of the Century Club on a globe-spanning scavenger hunt. To win, you must collect every stamp on your passport and be the first to return to the Century Club. First, we build the Century Club. For your first play, use the standard daylight sides instead of the blue night sides on the reverse. Stack them from base to top to form the Empire State Building, like so. Next, we set up the 9 adventure locations. We'll use the standard tan-bordered sides for this first play. Shuffle them, then place them to the right of the Century Club in a 3x3 grid of adventure locations. Now we add components to the board. Count the number of players, and add that many stamp tokens to each adventure location other than Atlantis, which has prisoner tokens instead. Next, locate the clue tokens. They come in 2 types, 1 clue tokens and 3 clue tokens. Pile up the clues near the play area, and make sure the pile is easily reachable by all the players. Now we have the 6 item tiles the Centurions will use to complete their missions: the biplane, jetpack, zeppelin, magnifying glass, map, and lightning gun. Place these near the game board, spread out and within reach for all players. Next, hand each player a passport. You'll notice there's a flag and an empty spot on your passport that corresponds to each location on the game board. As you collect your stamps, you'll place them in these spots. The base of each passport includes spots for your fuel token and clues. You don't begin the game with any clues, but each player will always have one, and only one, fuel token. Give each player one now. Place the fuel token on your passport with the full tank side showing. Now, take the Centurion marker matching your passport and choose a starting location on any of the 3 sections of the Century Club. Several Centurion markers may be in the same space at any point in the game, as seen here. Elect a first player and give them the first player marker. You're ready to play. Each round is made up of 4 steps. The player with the first player token selects an item first this round. That player can take any one of the 6 items. Then the player to the left of the first player selects one of the remaining items, and so on, until each player has 1 item. Let's go over what each of the items does. 3 of the items relate to movement: the biplane, jetpack, and zeppelin. The other 3 items help you on your adventure: the magnifying glass, map, and lightning gun. Let's start with the magnifying glass. If you have the magnifying glass, you may take 1 clue from the common pile. Place it on your passport in the clues spot. Pretty straightforward. The map is how you spend your clues. Visit a location that requires the map, and spend the required number of clues to complete the mission and collect the stamp. Use the lightning gun to zap bad guys and collect stamps. Look for the lightning gun icon on locations where you can use it. Now, let's talk about the 3 movement-related items. If you select the biplane, you may move up to 2 spaces, left, right, up, or down. You may change directions as you move, and if you don't wish to travel 2 spaces, you can move 1 or none instead. The biplane allows your fellow players to move as well. If you select the biplane, each other player may move 1 space, left, right, up, or down. This is called the sidekick move. The jetpack lets you move diagonally, but it only moves diagonally. If you have the jetpack, you may flip your fuel to empty to move 1 space diagonally. If your fuel was empty when the round began, you can't use the jetpack. If you select the Zeppelin, you must move directly to a location with a Zeppelin mooring dock. You can depart from any space. In this setup, you'll be landing in Schweiz or at the top of the Empire State Building. One last note about movement items. you may only move using one type of transportation each round. That means if you move to another space with the Zeppelin or the jetpack, you cannot use the biplane sidekick move. So that's items, and the first step. Onward! Once each player has selected an item, you all perform whatever actions you can. You may do your actions in any order, but must finish each action before beginning another. For example, if you select the biplane, you can't move one space, perform another action, and then move one space more, because that splits up the biplane's move action. During a round, you may use the item you selected once per round, use a locations action, which I'll talk about shortly, accomplish a locations mission, use the biplane's sidekick action, but only if someone else selected the biplane. Let's take a closer look at an example adventure location, the United States tile. In the upper left is the location name. In the upper right is the location's action, if any. This key tells you what you need to perform the action and what you get when you do. Here, there's a magnifying glass on the left inside the arrow. To the right of the arrow is clue times 4, in other words, 4 clues. So here, you may use the magnifying glass to take 4 clues from the pile. On some locations, there's a Zeppelin mooring dock on the lower left. That indicates you can travel to that location with the Zeppelin item, leaving from anywhere. In the lower right, you'll find the mission requirements and rewards. Anything inside the arrow is what you need to get the stamp. Anything to the right of the arrow is what you get. If there's no requirement on the left, like here with the US, then you don't need an item to accomplish the mission. You just have to show up. On most locations, you'll see a flag in the mission reward area. That means you can take a stamp from this location and place it on your passport on the empty space matching the flag. You only stamp each location once. The rest are for the other players. 2 of the locations have an extra element to their mission. At Egypt, use the lightning gun to zap the Mummy King to complete the mission. When you collect the stamp, the Mummy King curses you. While your Centurion is flipped to the cursed side, you cannot accomplish missions or win the game. Once you move to a location with the heal action, you may flip your Centurion marker back to normal. The Atlantis mission is used to rescue a prisoner and carry him to safety. Use the lightning gun to collect a prisoner token and place it on your passport in the 1 spot. Escort the prisoner to the Middle Century Club section before time runs out. Use the Middle Century Club's action to flip the prisoner token over to the stamp side and stamp Atlantis on your passport. We'll learn more about how the prisoner operates in the next step. After you free the prisoner in Atlantis, you'll be in danger. During this phase, if you have the prisoner, move him 1 spot on your passport closer to being recaptured. If the prisoner reaches the last space, return the prisoner token to Atlantis. You'll have to complete the Atlantis mission all over again. The prisoner token does move during the deal with danger step on the round you rescued him. So place the prisoner on 1 when you rescue him, and then move him to 2 later that round when you reach this step. After everyone has finished their actions and prisoners have been moved during deal with danger, return all the items to the common area. Then, pass the first player token to the left and begin a new round. The first player to collect all 9 stamps, return their Centurion to any Century Club tile, and shout, "I have returned!" is the winner. If multiple players finish in the same round, the player with the most clues still on their passport is the winner. In future plays, you can reshuffle the locations so that they're in different spots. This will give each game a different feel. When you'd like even more variety, or you wish to increase the difficulty, you can play with any number of adventure locations on their shadow side. Shadow locations introduce a number of new elements, which are described in detail in the shadow section of the location guide. Thanks for watching, and have fun on your race to adventure.